Hey fellers, one thing I've gotten big into these days, besides messing with my pop filter while I speak in these videos, is analyzing stuff visually. And I've talked about span and the ozone 5 spectrograph quite a bit before, but I wanted to go through a few more little things with it. In particular, I want to analyze what's going on with these Slate SSD4 kick drums. And what I've noticed is, by playing here, I really like the Tommy Lee kick. Turn it up just a little bit more. If you watch the span deal up here, what I've noticed is almost every kick drum in here, except for the vintage style, is more or less flat frequency response from about 40 to 100. Some of them have a little bit less of 40, and some of them have, might go a little higher than 100, maybe like 120, 130 before they drop off. But all of them seem to be kind of sort of a straight line. And take a look at the Tommy Lee kick one again. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely wavy. I mean, you're going to have plus or minus 3, 4, or 5 decibels in there. But compared to kick drums that I've recorded with no EQ at all, mine almost always seem to be wavering and have some kind of, I don't know if that's some kind of comb filtering going on inside the kick drum because of the tuning or what. But this is a fun little exercise because you go through here. Let me go through like the more of the standard ones, like, okay, AC/DC one. And it's got a bit of a notch there, like 80 or 90. And that one falls off a little bit, so okay, I'm looking stupid already. But the Black Album, I know. It's solid all the way up and actually peaks at 40, which actually is more like a dead mouse type of drum, at least in the terms of how much energy it has down there. The dead mouse slam and house type drums drop off dramatically, usually though. But anyhow, okay, this I get Blimp. I don't know if that's Blink 182 or what that's supposed to be, but anyway, NRG, it definitely doesn't have that low end, like that 40 hertz smack like the others. But then we have this guy. That can't be Blink 182. I don't know what that is. All right, Chili Peppers. And see, it's more linear all the way across, going from under 40 up to over 100. Let's look. And then we have the different Chili Pepper one. Okay, it's the same thing, just a different room. All right, I can live with that. That's dance stuff, doesn't count. Dream Theater is another one has a really cool kick. And almost totally uniform down the low end. And the other room, same thing. And Green Day, this is a kick drum I've used a million times in my recordings. Same thing, low end is extended from under 40, maybe 35 up to 110 or so in here. And so what I'm seeing, okay, we go to Nirvana Nevermind, NRG. Yeah, it's got a little bit of wavery, but it goes all the way up to 200 almost without. And then through SSD, changes a little bit, but again, the overall theme is this could almost be a block. An even frequency response. And the reason for that is pretty self-explanatory, I think, if you ever had problems with your kick drums translating in other stereos. If a kick drum has all of its energy, it will say at 60 hertz, and that's about it. If that particular stereo has a null at 60 hertz due to the room acoustics or who knows what else, then your kick drum's gone. So by having this even frequency response with very little variation, no matter where the low end is centered in any given system, you're always going to be good. Whether they have a huge dip at 40 or a huge dip at 100, you're covered. You're always going to have some energy there to fill in that space. Now, the big thing, and this is the reason I have the spectrograph up, the big difference between some of these, there's a Zeppelin one down here. Shut up, doggy. The Zeppelin one, it definitely rings for a while, and I wanted to show you the time difference here. So here's kick drum, Zeppelin. We can see how long that's ringing out there. Here's another one. And it's a very open drum there. And you can see with the Zeppelin vintage one, they didn't care about getting that full even response. It's more screwed up, more like what I would typically get with my stuff. Not sure if that's a clue or not, but even when we go to like Pantera and stuff, which is very clicky, you notice the sustain drops off way faster, and of course has way more top end. Versus a Black Album, Black drum. So for all practical purposes, what I've gained by playing around with my eyeballs on these Stephen Slate deals is I've learned that for the most part, the low end is an even square, and then it really comes down to how much sustain you want. In the low end, and of course, how much top end attack you want, how much a click. Other than that, all these kick drums are mostly the same. And so by analyzing your own kick drums and seeing what's going on, you might be able to come closer when you're mixing your own drums to these Slate things without, I shouldn't say without needing the Slate stuff, because sample layering is its own deal with no bleed and all this business. But it sure would be nice to, by having these samples right here, we can learn a lot from them, and we might as well. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.